Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, come on in, come on in. It is time for our webinar. I am your host tonight, Dr. Karen D. Lomax, and I am the CEO, founder, and visionary of Hers Life Coaching LLC. Hello, hello, hello. If you're already in the room with us, hello. Come on in, come on in, come on in, y'all. Listen. If your friends were supposed to be in here, they better get in here. So thank you for everyone who signed up for the webinar. And let's see, Sherry Froling go. I don't need to do that. That's not me. So come on in, y'all. It's gonna be so good for everybody. Let me see if you're with me over on YouTube. Hey, y'all. But for those who are actually inside of the webinar portal, hey, y'all, I see y'all. Hey, Vicky, I see you. Sandra, I see you. Adasia, I see you. Y'all, listen, it's going to be good. And of course, y'all know we got the giveaways that are going to be coming up as well for the incentives, and somebody walking away with all 5. This is my collection, but somebody's going to walk away with all 5 of these books, and somebody's going to walk away with a set of breaking free mugs. All right, breaking free mugs. I said next time I'm going to do a raffle. Because it seems like the same people be winning, but hey, pay attention, take notes. That's how we do this. Pay attention, take notes. So come on in, y'all. But hey, y'all, we're gonna have a real conversation about something that look good on the outside, but it quietly drains people on the inside, and that is perfectionism. I know there's a lot of people that deal with that. I used to be one of those people that dealt with perfectionism until I found a way to break free from it. And now, y'all, I literally don't live in that particular realm anymore. But before we dive in, put in the chat where you're joining me from. Put in the chat where you're joining me from, because I know we got some powerful people in the room with us. There's a lot more people who registered, but they're not in the room. I think some people forgot they registered, but I dropped a thing on my page to let people know it was webinar time. So I left the portal open until 4:55. And hey, whoever's in here is who's in here. Okay. And if you're staying until the duration of it, everybody that's in here is going to also get a free, okay? You're going to get a free download of the workbook. All right. And that's going to be emailed to you. You'll receive that in an email, so you don't have to purchase the workbook, but you will receive the actual workbook as an attachment. Okay. All right. She said she's literally in the other room. All right. We got Oceanside, California in here. We got Perryville, Missouri from the Show Me State in here with us. And so, yeah, y'all. So for the workbook, I was going to send y'all a link and give you a code and all this stuff. And then I said, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to email you the workbook. She said the other room. Just going to email you the workbook. Okay. And that way you will have it, y'all. Normally I would put something, scrolling at the bottom of the screen, but we're not doing that in here. And then we got Sandra that's in here from Delaware. So amen. All right. We got our people in here. So we're going to get into this, y'all. And yes, I do have, boom. I know y'all were like, does she have it? I do. And do, as they say, I do have it for our breaking free. Let's turn this off so everybody can see it. And I'm probably going to hide myself completely for some of these slides so you can get the full picture of it, because I don't think I could get in it from my side because I don't think I registered myself on my phone. So I don't think it's going to let me in. Okay. Yeah, it's not showing it to me. And it's not letting me see it. Oh yeah, there it is. Yay. it let me. So there I am. So I can see it. Oh, it looks good. It looks good. So if you guys can see it real good, then I'll keep myself here. If not, I'll reduce myself down there to where you can get an even bigger. There we go. I think that's going to be good. I don't think I have anything in these bottom quadrants that we're going to be good for. So let's hop in here. And if you don't have your book, y'all don't forget the download is available. And after the webinar, then I'll do some more orders for the book where people will be able to take orders. But for right now, you can get that download. If you don't have it, you can go download it like right now and get it. But it is a great book. I like the color. I just was like, let's do yellow this time. And I really like the color. So as of now, everybody, as of now, this is the last Breaking Free webinar. Okay. This is the last Breaking Free webinar, unless God says different. All right. If God tells me something different, next week or next month or something, then we might have another one. Somebody did drop something in my ear, but I prayed about it and God didn't tell me yes yet. So as of now, this will be the last one for a while because I need to take a break. Okay. So let's hop into this and get us started. This is going to be, let me hide myself. This is going to be this is the introduction and what we're going to be doing. Basically, I think 2 of these slides got duplicated, but it should have the introduction, but it's got the agenda on here. So the agenda got duplicated. So I want to skip that. There we go. And go into the agenda. That's what I'm looking for. And so our agenda, we're going to be talking about the hidden weight of perfectionism, biblical foundation, what perfectionism is. We're going to talk about the psychology behind it, because anytime we're talking about breaking free from something, I always want to talk about the psychology behind it. And then we'll talk about the hidden dangers of perfectionism. We'll do some question and answer periods. This time we're going to have like some prompts in here where I'm going to be asking you some questions and you're going to be able to interact with the webinar. We're going to talk about choosing progress over perfection and then living in God's acceptance. All right. Hazel Shaquata from Oceanside. All right. And so let's hop into this and get this started. Okay. Let's talk about the hidden weight. Let me bring me back for this one. Let's talk about the hidden weight of perfectionism. The hidden weight of perfectionism. This is one of the most deceptive, y'all. This is one of the most deceptive mindsets that you can have, because when you're talking about perfection, it doesn't look like a problem. It never looks like a problem. It looks like ambition. It looks like discipline. Right? It looks like it's discipline. And it also looks like you're maintaining these high standards. That's why it's a weight. That's why it's a pressure, because it doesn't look like it's a problem, right? It really doesn't. But what it does underneath all of those things that look good on the outside, there's pressure there. There's hidden fear there. There's anxiety there. And guess what, y'all? It's exhausting. It's exhausting because you were not designed to live under this type of pressure. It's so exhausting. And so many people look like they're doing well on the outside, but they're struggling silently on the inside because it's pressure. Now, here's something I want y'all to put in the comment section. Just answer yes or no. Have you ever felt like nothing that you do is ever good enough? Just type yes or no in the comment section. Do you ever feel like no matter what you do, no matter what you say, it's just not good enough? Okay, Tori says yes. Adasia says yes. Shaquata says yes. See, that it's more common than more people would like to admit. It really, really is. And so that's the hidden, that's some of the hidden weight of it. And it also, Sandra said yes too. See, everybody feels that way, but a lot of people won't admit it because they make it look good on the outside. But here's the biblical foundation when it comes to this. This scripture right here, it makes it very clear. I love this scripture. You can go look it up. I didn't have room to put it on here, but this scripture really reminds us, y'all, that there is no one on earth, no one. There's no one on earth who does good, okay, and never sins. They just do good all the time and never sins. There's not one person on the earth, which means there's nobody that's perfect on the earth. All right. Perfection was never, ever a requirement by God. All right. And people get this thing mixed up when they says, be ye perfect for I am perfect. Right. That means be ye settled. All right. Be ye complete in your thinking. All right. It means be stable. All right. We always take that word and we weaponize the word and we utilize it and we self-sabotage ourselves there with that word. And so it was never a requirement by God for you to be perfect in our sense of the word perfection, right? He never asked any of us to be flawless. He did not. Right? He asked for growth. He asked for obedience, not perfection. He did not ask us that. He asked us to be faithful in what we do. Okay? That, just knowing that, should take some of the pressure off of us. Just knowing that much should take some pressure off, right? Because he never asked us to be flawless. So think about this. Think about this. How much pressure, okay, how much pressure would it lift off your life if you truly believed that God never intended for you to be flawless? How much pressure do you think that it would just lift off of your life, off of your shoulders, if you just really believed and understood that God does not require perfection? He doesn't require you to be flawless. He doesn't require you not to make mistakes. He doesn't require you to get it right every single time. He knows you're going to miss the mark, right? He knows you're going to miss the mark. So if you knew you were going to miss the mark, if you knew that sometimes you're going to color outside of the lines, you're not going to get it perfect all the time, right? That should lift some pressure off of you. That should take some pressure off of your shoulders, okay? She says she does. Okay. It would, I'm telling you, it would take pressure off of you. If you truly believe that, it would take some of the pressure off. And that's what we're talking about tonight. We want to relieve pressure off of your mind and off of your life. So let's get into this. What is perfectionism? Right? Perfectionism is the belief that anything less than flawless is unacceptable. Okay, it means anything, if it's not just everything just right, it's unacceptable. That's what perfectionism is. But the dangerous part of this, and we're going to get into other dangers, the dangerous part of this is it ties your worth, what you're worth, it ties it to performance, how you do things, right? You think if you don't get it perfect, then people are going to see you as less than. All right. So you go out of your way and you put unnecessary pressure on yourself to try to make it just so. If it's off an inch, then it's wrong. If it's just off a smidgen, then it's wrong. Oh my gosh. As people say, y'all will see some of these slides are like this in this. Not perfect. Okay. It also creates constant pressure on you. Constant. You can't even enjoy. You can go places and do things, and if you're asked to do things, you can't even enjoy it because you're making sure that everything is just right. Nothing can be a inch off. Everything has to be centered. Everything has to be in line. It can't be off at all. You can't even enjoy yourself. You can't even enjoy the things that you create because if you see one small smidgen, it's just like, okay, now I got to destroy that and redo it because it's not perfect. So you can't even enjoy your own creativity. Okay. because of that. And the crazy part is this. It it's really, it's not just about you doing well when it comes to perfection. It's about you trying to prove to other people that you're good enough. That's the pressure. That's the issue, right? It's not about you doing well. You do well, but it's about acceptance, and it's about you proving yourself to other people. Y'all write this down. Finish this sentence in the chat. If you want to put your answer in the chat, put this in the chat. Yes, Sister Quada, I'm telling you, I used to be that. And I would have anxiety attacks. That's how bad it was for me. I would have anxiety attacks because I was always asked to do something because everybody know I was going to get it just right. And if I missed it, I'm just like, man, I know they can see that. They're going to see that mistake. And then boom, that's just going to mean that, everything I do from here on out is not done in excellence. And I would have anxiety attacks. All right. So finish this sentence right here. I want y'all to write this, put your answer in the comment. Finish this sentence. I feel most valuable when I what? When do you feel the most valuable? When you do what? They just said she got the Band-Aids. I feel most valuable when I blank. Okay. I want to see those. When do you feel most valuable? So type something real brief in the comment section. I feel most valuable when I. Let's see. Vicky says when she pleases people, she feels valuable. Again, based on your performance. She said when she pleases people, that's when she feels most valuable. And see, and that shows that you literally, this is exactly what you've been measuring yourself by. We have when I over deliver. Yeah, when you over deliver. When you do more than what they really ask for. Right. And the crazy part about that, Sandra, is when you start doing way more over the top than what they ask for, because see, we were taught that it's like, hey, under promise, over deliver. But when you do that, you train people to a certain way. And then when you can't over deliver like that anymore, then there's an issue. Well, last time you was able to, and then now you feel bad, right? So these are the things by which you have been measuring yourself. She says when she is spending time with her family. Okay, amen. That's good. That's positive. Right? But when you over deliver, if they said, listen, all I need is this right here. I just need a blue box. Okay. If they say, hey, I just need a blue box. That's it. Just need a blue box and I'm cool. Right? Sometimes we like, well, I just can't give a blue box because that ain't what I'm known for. I ain't known for just delivering the blue box. I got to do the blue box. Then I got to put some gold trimming around the blue box. And then after I put the gold trimming, then I got to put this on it. And then I got to put this on it. And then I got to put this on it. When all they ask for, just give me the blue box. Right. But if you don't go over the top, then you feel like you didn't deliver. You feel like you didn't come through. You feel like, well, that ain't what I'm known for. And then now you sit there and be like, that was just plain. I'm not used to that. I don't just do plain. So now you can't even rest because your mind is like, I need to have them to give me that blue box back so I can add some extra on the blue box. Perfectionism messes with you that way. Right. Right. Thank y'all for sharing. Here's some signs, y'all, of perfectionism. Here's some signs. Here's how you know that perfectionism shows up in your life, but many of us already know that we're perfectionists anyway. But the biggest one, overanalyzing everything. You overthink everything. Everything. You cannot not overthink. That's how you know you're dealing with perfectionism. Everything is over analyzed, every little thing. Okay, you're afraid of making mistakes because you feel like if I make a mistake, people are going to be so disappointed in me because I made a mistake, because I don't make mistakes, right? Like I don't make mistakes. Right? Like that, I don't make mistakes, right? You delay starting things, right? You delay starting things because of fear of what people are going to say, how people are going to perceive you, all right? And you don't want to get nothing wrong. So instead of doing it, you don't do it. Or you take your time in doing it. You'll drag your feet out. Right? Because you don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to get nothing wrong. So in order for me not to get it wrong, then I'm just going to just delay doing it. Because now I need to overanalyze, I need to overthink, I need to rethink it. I got to do it this way, I got to do it that way. I got to make 5 prototypes before I make the actual thing because I don't want to get it wrong. And so you delay doing things because you don't want to get it wrong, right? And then the other thing is you can still do it well. You can still do it well, and people can tell you, you know what? This was great. Thank you. And your response is not, well, you're welcome. Your response is, well, you know what? You're welcome, but I could have did, or the way I was going to do it. This isn't the way I originally was going to make it happen. And this. You can't, in your mind, it just won't let you take that compliment and feel like I did a job well done. For you, it's never a job well done. It has to be a job perfect. Not well done, but perfect, right? So your mind won't even allow you to accept the compliment because in your mind, it's like, yeah, okay, they liked it, but I could have stepped it up. I could have did more. Instead of just saying, girl, you did good, right? Your mind won't let you. That's that trap of perfectionism. It'll tell you always got it next time. Well, the next time I do it, then I'm going to have to do it this way. Instead of just saying, they already said this was great, this was wonderful. But in your mind, it's like, no, it needed to be this way. She said, the way I was going to do it. Like, yeah, like, yeah, that you're welcome, but that's not the way I really wanted it to come out. And they looking like, you ain't have to tell me that because this looked like I'd have never known this is not the way you wanted to come out because it was excellent. It was great, but your mind won't let you. That's perfectionism, right? So I'm going to give y'all four things, all right? We named these 4 things. Type the number of the one that hits you most. Is it the overthinking? Is it the fear of mistakes? Is it the procrastination, purposely delaying, or being never satisfied? Which one of them? Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? Which one of them hits you the most? Which one of them is just you and you just like, that's the one that just I can't break free from, right? How did you get those? Right. So which one of these is you? Yes, you can only pick one. Make whichever one is your number 4. Which one is just it? Which one is it? The overthinking, the fear of mistakes, procrastination, or I just am never satisfied. Even when people tell me, girl, you did that. That was it. But in your mind, it's like, no, they just saying that. Okay, Tori says never satisfied. Okay. Sandra said fear of mistakes. Miss Vicky, they're right there on the the slide. Which one of those on the slide? Sandra said fear of mistakes. Fear of mistakes. Yeah, fear of mistakes is a big one. I was all of them, but my top one, my very, very top one was the fear of mistakes. That was my top one. Because I was like, man, they're gonna see that but I put two L's in there, and now the whole thing is ruined. And half the time people aren't even paying attention to that. They don't even care. Sister Queta, Deja said, number one, overthinking. Sister Queta says she's closer to number 4 now, with never feeling satisfied. Yeah, that is it. And see, and this is how you break free from this stuff, is you begin to acknowledge it. You know, this is who you are, right? And a lot of y'all see, in another thing to help you break free is, if you look in here, some of y'all pick the same thing. So it's not just you that thinks that way. Okay, you're not by yourself in this, because again, once upon a time, I was all of them, but my highest one was always the fear of mistakes. And I would have to tell myself, Karen, nobody is perfect. Perfection does not exist. Why do you put this pressure on yourself? Now, these slides may be out of order. Like y'all seen like I said, one of the slides was double. There was supposed to be an introduction. Introduction never made it. It's two of the same slides. All right. Not perfect. Not perfect. Deja said she's all of them. Deja says she's all of them. I think some of us are a little bit all of them, just more of one or the other. All right, here's the psychology behind this. This helps people when you know where this come from. It didn't just appear from out of nowhere, y'all. It's a learned behavior. It's a learned thing, and it's rooted in fear. It's learned, but it's rooted in fear. It's rooted in the fear of failure. It's rooted in the fear of judgment. It's rooted in the fear of disappointment, because you don't want to disappoint anybody. Okay. Sometimes it develops in your environment where approval was tied to your performance, right? And sometimes it's driven by comparison. So it's comparison and approval. Well, why you can't do it the way that your sister do it? Right? Why you can't do it the way your mama do it? Your mom used to do it this way, or my mom did it that way. So it's approval and comparison, being compared by other people, right? It's perfectionism. Okay. Signs of perfectionism. We're on the psychology of perfectionism, Ms. Vicky. We're on the psychology of perfectionism. She said, my sign shows signs of perfectionism. Can everybody see the one that says the psychology of perfectionism? Because that's the slide we should be on. That's the side I'm on. Okay. The psychology of perfectionism. Sandra says she's getting free tonight. All right. And that's where it comes from, y'all. So you learn, and here's the psychology part is, if I do well, then I'm accepted. That's the psychology of it. If I do well, then I'm accepted. Not understanding that you're accepted whether you do it well or not. Right? And you're not here to please people. That's what you have to get away from, is trying to make everybody happy. I was, while I was in my downtime, someone sent me and I will send y'all over there too, but they sent me a link to a YouTube from Bishop Y.S. Younger. Love Bishop Younger, right? And one of the things that he, on his podcast, he was saying that everyone's happiness is not my responsibility. Everyone's happiness is not your responsibility. You're not here to please everybody. You can't. It's impossible. You will kill yourself trying to please people. You can do everything right and somebody gonna find something wrong with it. And you got to be okay with that. You got to be like, you know what, whatever, right? You got to tell yourself I'm okay with that, right? So your confidence has to be built on your identity, not on comparison, not on somebody else's expectations. That's the only way you break free from this, from perfectionism. When you find out my identity is not built on your approval, it's not built on your acceptance, right? It's the confidence I have in myself. And you got to get confident within yourself. Okay. Who you are, it's who you are, y'all, not what you do. It's who you are. Okay. Where in your life have you been trying to where you kind of tie your identity to your performance? Like, where in your life? Is it school? Is it work? Is it home? Is it, is it church? Is it wherever? Like, where in your life do you find yourself tying, right, your identity to your performance? That if I don't perform well, then I'm not valued. That's where that's where that disconnect needs to happen. Vicky said it's storming here in the live in the booms. If you don't see, the internet went down. Oh, okay. Yeah, not over here. it's still good over here with us. Right? So it's not what you do. It's who you are, y'all. It's who you are, right? So where in your life have you been tying your identity to your performance? Right. For me, it used to be military, but now the older I got and the more I got into this thing, I'm just like, listen, now they know it's me. This is what I do. This is how I do it. and the crazy part is they like how I do it. They love how I am with the soldiers. My soldiers love how I talk to them, and I don't have to be perfect around them. Right. I don't have to. It's crazy to say it used to be her job. Right. I used to always even in school, for me, all of that, I used to try to be perfect because everybody expected. And I'm gonna tell y'all the story. I remember when I was in school, before I left school, I was a straight A student. I got A's at everything. Things where people was like, how did you get an A in that? And then when I left school and I went to college, and I think it was in my criminal justice class. It was one of my criminal justice classes, and I got a C. And I lost it. Right? I had all A's, and then I saw that C, and I lost my mind. I thought I was going to have to go and get counseling because of that one C. Right? And you heard people say, well, C's equal degrees, right? And I was like, is that C going to stop you from getting this degree? Right? And it was like, no. And I think I think in that class, you had to have like at least like a 70 or something. So that's like a D. You had to at least have a D to pass the class. And I got a C. But in my mind, right? In my mind, that's too close to that D. And then I got into the what ifs. And I took myself down that little journey. Well, what if I would have got that D? Then you see what I'm saying? Because I didn't get that A and I got a C, and that C was right there on my transcript. Every once in a while, I go back and be like, oh, that C is still sitting there, right? Right? And then I was told, it's like, well, you can retake this class and you have to stay an extra semester. No, I'm good. And guess what happened? I end up still graduating with honors. I graduated with honors with a C. It took my GPA from a 4.0 to a 3.8. And I still graduated with honors. Right? So I was just out here freaking out because I got a C. in all those A's, right? So your environment, and it's that comparison, and it's that you want to be, you want to be approved by others so bad, and you don't want to mess up, and you want them to see you in that light all the time. And it's just, it's an unrealistic expectation, y'all. It's unrealistic. She said in relationships, family, friendships, partnerships, yes, in your life. It's that. Perfectionism will drive you crazy. It messes with your sleep. It messes with your appetite. It messes with your blood pressure. It just messes with you physically. Not just mentally, but physically. It messes with you. All right. Here's this identity versus performance. Your confidence should not be built on perfection. Okay. You have to shift your thinking here. Okay. And the reason why is because performance changes. Performance doesn't stay the same. Okay. It doesn't. And so you got to stop measuring your worth by results. Okay. You got to stop measuring your worth by results, because it's just not. All right. You just can't. You can't do it. Okay. Now, here's a question I want to throw in here. Most of the time, like I said, perfectionism, it develops in your environments where your approval was tied to performance. Okay. So you learn, if I do well, I'm accept it. And we talked about, fear judgment, fear of disappointing people, all those different things. Is it really fear? Is it really the fear of judgment from other people for you? Or is it really fear of judgment from yourself? Do you fear the judgment from other people, or is it mostly really you judging yourself? That's a whole nother identity type, crisis type thing, right? And a psychology that comes along with it. And y'all, and once you are aware of these things, this is where you can talk yourself down. This is where you can say, girl, listen, it wasn't 1,000, but it was 100%. Right? Yeah. See, Vicky, it really is. Most of the time, it's not the criticism of other people. You are your worst critic. That's why a lot of people can't break free from some of this stuff. Most of the things that we talk about in these webinars is not really coming from the outside, it's really coming from the inside. And you have to unlearn what you've learned and what you've told yourself. You got to unlearn it. You got to stop telling yourself, girl, if you just don't, it's got to be perfect. Quit saying that and say, you know what? Perfection doesn't exist. The last time I made this, everybody went crazy. They loved it. Boom. The last person that got this box, she told me this box was great. She loved it. Why am I killing myself trying to make something perfect when perfection doesn't exist? Exactly. See, most people, it's the same thing. It's them judging themselves. It really isn't coming from the outside. It's coming from the inside. And you have to change the way that you talk to yourself about yourself, especially when it comes to this perfectionism thing. It's the way that you got to change the way you talk to yourself about yourself. Adasia said it's both, but more herself. Yeah, it can be other people, but y'all know what I mean. I'm one of those people that if you can get free and get delivered from what people think, you're good. I'm telling you, it's one of the most freeing things ever. It's one of the most freeing things ever. It's like I no longer base what I do on the approval of other people. I don't. Now I can do things and I'm happy doing it. Now I don't do it just so somebody else can be happy because I'm doing it. If they're happy, great. I want to make sure that, they enjoy it. I want to make sure that they get what they ask for, but but the performance is not based on that. It's based on what I do for me. It's me saying, this is what I do, and I do it well. I didn't say I do it perfect. I do it well. Right? So it's how you talk to yourself about yourself. And you, again, that last one, stop measuring your worth by results. Stop it. All right. Questions? Any questions here before we jump into this next part? This next part is so good. Any questions? We'll pause for a minute. If you do have questions as we go along, put them in the comment section and we will pop them up on the screen and answer them. Okay, let's chug along. Here we go. Here's where I'm going to disappear because I want y'all to see this. I think I put that. Okay, boom. The hidden dangers of perfectionism, y'all. And when I say dangerous, it's dangerous. That it comes with a cost. And here are the physical dangers of this. It creates stress because nothing ever feels finished to you. You cannot put a period on the end. You always have a comma, but. Never a period, never exclamation point. It's always a comma, but. Right? Or a comma, and. It's never complete for you. It creates stress and it creates burnout. We've seen that procrastination, and this is why all of these webinars are connected, because procrastination is one of the dangers of all of these things, y'all. So it leads to procrastination because the standards feel too high. All right? The standards feel too high for you. So sometimes you be like, well, no, maybe they need to get somebody else to do it. Even though you know you can do it, but you put this undue pressure on yourself to perform better than anybody that's ever done it, instead of just saying, you know what, I got this. I can do this. This is what I do. So I'm going to do it. Right? So you put this undue pressure and you will talk yourself out of some things. Right? You'll talk yourself out of some things. It also damages your self-esteem, y'all, because your value feels unstable. Your value feels unstable. You feel like if I don't get 100% out of everybody, if I don't get the approval from everybody in this room, then I failed. Then I'm never going to do this again because that one person didn't like it. You have 99 people saying this is the best thing ever, and you got that one person, and it's probably because they had a bad day, right? That one person ruined it for you, and now your self-esteem got damaged. Now don't ask me to do it no more because I'm not. Right? Because your value was based on somebody else's approval. Right? Vicky said, I took this class thinking I didn't need it. Wrong. Ouch. I'm telling you, it causes you to look at yourself, and it causes you to look at yourself realistically. And for you to be able to shed spotlight on these things, and there's nothing wrong. Again, God did not intend for us to be flawless. The flaws are there so that we can do introspection sometimes. Because if we never look in, right, we can get egotistical, we can get very arrogant. So sometimes we have to look within ourselves and say, that's a flaw there. But that flaw is what makes me human. I'm not perfect. Perfection doesn't exist. I'm not perfect. Okay, but it damages your self-esteem because you're a people pleaser. It also will affect your relationships. And let me put myself back in here for this one. It will I want to get a little bit bigger. It affects your relationships because you put unrealistic expectations on real people, you and the other person. That's all I'm saying. That's one of the hidden dangers. I had to get in y'all's face with that one. Okay, it does. And it spills over in onto other people because the relationship is built on unrealistic expectations. It's unrealistic. Nobody can do it right every single time because you have perfection in your mind. You expect them to do everything perfect, not understanding you're not even doing everything perfect. Okay, you're not even doing it perfect, but you're expecting perfection from flawed individuals, including yourself. That's one of the biggest dangers. You walk around with this unrealistic mindset. So when you meet other people and they don't rise up to your expectation, there's a problem. Not understanding that your expectations are unrealistic. Right? It's unrealistic because perfectionism doesn't exist. So you're reaching for something in relationships, right? Whether they're romantic or whether they're platonic, you're reaching for something that does not exist. And because you can't get it and you don't see it, then the relationship is it's a failure in your mind. Right? Because they're not perfect. Well, you're not either, darling. Neither can be. Neither one of you are. Right? So you have to be realistic. You have to be realistic in these things, especially when it comes to perfectionism. Sandra's, I guess that's why I'm single. I don't think that's why, but I mean it, and I'm not going to say it's not, right? Sometimes it's not that you're single because of this one thing, but because of this in in collaboration with other things that's going on. This just may trump some of the other things. But when you start to be aware and accept the fact that you are a flawed individual and you have these things going on, right? And you can get into something like this and say, this, I never would have even flipped the script, right? Or flipped the lens on myself to say, wait a minute. Sometimes it ain't them. Sometimes it's you. Because listen, sometimes you may be here, right? And because you want them here, it becomes an issue that they're right here. Okay? Not realizing, watch this, not realizing you didn't start here. Right? Appreciate that they're here. Because you started all the way down here too. Okay? So appreciate that they're here. You got to appreciate that everybody is not going to be here. Okay? Everybody's not going to be here. All right? And so you got to appreciate the fact that you can see yourself as a flawed individual. You can accept your flaws. That's the other thing. Not just being aware that you have these flaws and that you're not perfect, but accepting that fact is where the breakthrough happens. It's like, I ain't perfect, so I'm not going to be doing everything perfect. I'm not going to get it right every time. Okay? Like I'm just not going to get it right every time because I'm not perfect. And if people are expecting me to get it right every time, then there's something wrong with them. Because I'm not perfect. And the crazy part is Here's the crazy part. They're only expecting you to get it right every time because you keep acting like you can get it right every time. They're only responding to what you're putting out there. On the inside, right, you stress to the max. But on the outside, you put on this perfectionist suit and this perfectionist face. Stressed, anxiety, right? They can't see that. So that's why they're going to keep asking you for more. That's why they're going to keep expecting more, because you keep saying, oh, I can rise to this. I can rise to this. Instead of saying, listen, y'all, this is what I can do. This is how I do it. Right? And this is how it is. Right? The pen is pink and gold. Here you go. You asked for pink and gold. Here's your pink and gold. I'm not going to take the pink and gold and say, you know what? I know they asked for just this pink and gold pen, but let me go and make a box for the pen to go in. And then let me make sure that I get something inscribed on the box. And then let me make sure that the box is delivered this way and that way and this way. When they said, listen, can we just get this? Right? By the time you finish doing all of that, listen, perfectionist, by the time you finish doing all that, they may have already found somebody who could just give them this pink and gold pen. They'd be like, you know what, it's all good. It's taking you too long because in your mind, that this ain't what they asking for. In your mind, it's like, I can't just give it to them like this. I gotta be elaborate. It's gotta be perfect. Gotta be extra. And they like, listen, let me go find somebody who can just give me this pink and gold pen, because they over there doing the most. Right? Right? It's like they over there doing the most. Amen. Over there doing the most. I used to be that way. Right? And I had to get to that place where I say, you know what? This is what they ask me for. Let me give them what they ask me for. Let me stop putting this undue pressure to be perfect and doing the most when this is what they asked me for. Here you go. Right? This is all they asked me for. I'm not going to take it upon myself and say, well, you know what? I know you asked me for this pink and gold pen, but what if I did this? And then what if I did that? And they looking at you like, yeah, okay, this is the flip side. Okay, go ahead, do that. And do that and do that. And then they're going to expect that. And you sit over here in the background saying, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to do this again and again and again. I'm already tired. I'm already exhausted. But that's what you put out there. So that's what they expect. That's one of the hidden dangers of perfectionism. Right? You got to tell yourself, like, no, I'm not doing that. So that's how I do it. Put this in the comment section, y'all. Just one word. What has perfectionism cost you? Has it cost you time? Has it cost you peace? Has it cost you money? Has it cost you opportunities? Has it cost you relationships? One word. What has perfectionism cost you? Some of y'all is probably like all of the above. Woo! She said sleep. See, I already don't get a lot of sleep like I should, but listen, if I wouldn't sleep because of perfectionism, I would be no good. I promise I wouldn't. See, she said sleep. The physical things, right? Sandra said opportunities, peace, time, all of it. Where you at, Deja? Deja's like all of the above. It costs you something, and it shouldn't. I know she's gonna say all, right? It shouldn't cost you everything. While you sitting there being perfect, they ask you for this pink and gold pen, right? And instead of you saying, oh, them pink and gold pens ain't but $1. So let me go get 15 of them, right? And boom, they be good to go. They sitting at home watching TV, enjoying their time instead of you over here trying to go find some extra stuff to hype this up, this pink and gold pen, to take it to the next level when all they asked you for was a pink and gold pen. Now your time is ate up. You can't go to bed on time because you got 15 boxes you got to make for these pens because that's what you said that you were going to do. Right? Miss out on stuff. Can't, because I got to put in this time to create these little fancy smancy boxes for this pen. And then you upset, right? And mad at them because they get them and they be like, oh, wow, that's nice. And then they don't acknowledge the box. Now you got an issue. When all they said was, we want this. Can you get the pink and gold? This is all we need, right? So these are some of the things that you have to unlearn. You have to unlearn, right? Definitely peace, definitely. So these are the things that you have to unlearn, right? Ooh, this is good. We almost finished, y'all. Reality check time, y'all. Here's a reality check. Reality check. Perfectionism promises excellence. That's what perfectionism does. It promises you excellence. It promises those around you excellence. But guess what? It doesn't deliver excellence. It delivers pressure. It delivers frustration. It delivers dissatisfaction. That's what it delivers, right? And it's time to stop buying into that. Don't buy into the perfectionism thing. If perfectionism was a stock market, everybody would lose their money. Because you're going to crash and burn. Okay? This is the reality. Here's how we're going to break free. Choose progress over perfection. You're going to choose progress. Let me get my face out of here because I want y'all to see the full screen. You're going to choose progress over perfection, right? This is where everything is going to change. Perfection will tell you, wait until everything is right before you do something. But progress will say, start right where you are. Start where you are. Can't be just right. Just start where you are, right? Many people don't stay stuck, y'all, because they lack the ability. They don't. They stay stuck. Where's my face? Let me put my face back here. People don't stay stuck because they lack the ability. People stay stuck because they keep waiting for the perfect opportunity, the perfect moment, the perfect time. No such animal. None. No such animal. Okay? It's not. You know when the perfect time is? Right now. That's the perfect time. There's no perfect moment. There's no perfect time. Okay? What is something? Let me get back down here. What is something? One thing, y'all. One thing. What is something that you have been delaying doing because of perfection? Okay, what is something you delayed doing because of perfectionism? Oh, y'all, it's already 6 o'clock, but I got it set for 6:30 on here, so we're still good. What is something that you have delayed doing because of perfectionism? Tori said, writing her book. Yep. Because of perfectionism. If you're waiting for it to be perfect, you'll be writing until Jesus comes. That's going to be one of the longest books in the world. Somebody said cleaning. Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, that can turn into OCD real fast. That perfectionism can do that, turn into OCD real fast. Yep, you too. That devotional, yep. See, books. See, if you look in the comments, you're not the only person. Some of y'all have the same things that you've delayed because of perfectionism. Sister Quaid said finishing a project because of perfectionism. Right? So what we're going to do, we're going to shift your mindset. We're going to get rid of perfectionism and we're going to think about progress. Do you want it done or do you want it perfect? Hopefully the answer is I want to get this thing done. Okay. Stop asking yourself, did I do it perfectly? Don't ask yourself, did I do it perfectly? Ask yourself, did I grow in the process? Okay. Go from self-criticism to self-compassion. Stop criticizing yourself. Have some self-compassion for yourself. You put your all into something. Say, girl, you know what? You put your all into it. If sister so and so didn't like it, that's on her. She stay miserable. She stay always complaining. Right? Stop criticizing yourself. Give yourself some compassion. Right? Shift from control to trust. Okay. And just say, you know what? I can't control how people are going to feel. I can't control how people are going to think. I can control how people are going to act. People are not perfect. Okay. You just gotta go into this trust mode. It's like, I just gotta listen. If they don't, if it ain't the way I need it, I'm just gonna trust them to do it. It's not gonna be perfect because they're not. But you got to get away from that, from control to trust. You can't control everything. Again, that just creates more pressure. You can't control everything. You can't control outcomes. Right? You can't. Which one of these three shifts do you need more of? Which one do you need the most? Do you need to shift from perfection to progress? Do you need to shift from that self-criticism to self-compassion? Or do you need to shift from control to trust? Number 3 was the one I had to shift from quickly because it was causing issues. Like, I can't control this, right? Self-criticism, Tori said number 2. Shaquita said number 3. Yep, I'm number 3. I used to criticize myself until I fell in love with myself and be like, But again, it takes you unlearning, right? And training your thinking and shifting your mindset from control to trust. And especially in relationships, if you've just been in some crazy relationship, it's hard to just say, woo, you try to control like every area and every inch of that. And you can't. It's impossible. You just can't. All right. We have some self-criticism to self-compassion. Again, number 2. So as you can see, it's not just you. You're not the only person that deals with this, y'all. All right. We're almost done, y'all. We're almost done. I'm gonna get us out of here. Now, take some action, y'all. What is one small step you can take today, all right, to help you break free from this perfectionism? Not a perfect step because it doesn't exist. Not the final step because you still got to unlearn it. Just the next step. What is the next step that you want to take? Okay. And the reason why I'm asking that is because you got to understand that progress in anything is built one step at a time. Right? What is your next step? Is it, I need to be more compassionate to myself. I'm going to start talking to myself better. Right? I'm going to keep reminding myself, girl, you're not perfect. So stop expecting perfection from yourself and stop expecting perfectionism from other people who are not perfect. There you go. Vicky said, admitting it. That's a huge step. That's a realistic step. That's one of the most hardest step people can take, is like admitting the fact that they're not perfect. Being kind to yourself. Yep. Being kind to yourself. That's huge, right? I don't want to keep us too long. Here's one of the ways. Let me get me out of the way. There. Living in God's acceptance. It's not just about discipline. Discipline, you got to be disciplined and talk to yourself right, but it's not about discipline. That's not the cure. It's grace. You got to show yourself grace. Your worth is not performance based. You got to keep telling yourself that. And it's God's love that defines you, not people's approval. Grace will remind you that your worth is not something you can earn. You don't earn your worth. It's just there. You're worthy, period. God has already given you that. You don't need to earn grace, right? That's trying to earn something that God already gave you. You don't have to earn that. He loves you knowing that you're flawed, knowing that you're imperfect. So the same grace that he gives to you, you got to give to yourself. That being kind to yourself by giving yourself grace. Why? Because grace changes everything. When you embrace grace, everything shifts, right? You can learn without shame. You can grow without pressure. You can move forward even after you make mistakes and accept the fact, I made a mistake. Let me keep going. Because that's freedom. That's what freedom is. That's how you break free from that. Type in the comment section, y'all. Type this in. I give myself permission to grow. You got to give yourself permission to grow. Trying to be perfect and please people stunts your growth. Give yourself permission to grow. I give myself permission to grow. I give myself permission to grow. There it is. I give myself permission to grow. You have to. You got to give yourself permission. Give myself permission to grow. Give yourself permission. You're not perfect, and that's fine. Just give yourself permission to grow. Quit stunting your growth. Okay? Here we go. This biblical truth is found in Ephesians 2, verses 8 through 9. Y'all can read that. But to sum it up, you are saved by grace, not by works or perfection. Your salvation is not based on performance. Your salvation is not based on perfection. How do you think your life would improve right now, right? If you stop trying to prove your worth. You probably will be outside turning flips and frolicking through the tulips. How would your life change if you stop trying to prove your worth? And the crazy part is you don't even have to. You don't have to. Just think about that, how your life would change if you stop trying to prove your worth. Stop. You don't have to, y'all. You're not perfect. We're flawed individuals. We're flawed individuals. Do a quick little recap, right? And if you got questions, put them in the comment section. I'm gonna do a quick little recap. Like one of the hidden weight, y'all, of this is a deceptive mindset. That's the hidden weight. It's deceptive, right? It's deceptive. That number one right there, because it looks like it's ambition, but it's actually fear, pressure, and anxiety. You were never designed to live under that type of pressure. Take that off yourself. No one is perfect. God doesn't expect perfection, but growth and obedience. That's it. This one, it creates that constant pressure and it ties your worth to performance. Overanalyze, fear of mistakes. All these are the signs of perfectionism, especially that never feeling satisfied. You can't. Your mind won't even allow you to accept a compliment about something you've done. You're in that comma and or comma but. It's rooted in fear and learned behavior. Here we go. Stop measuring your worth by results. One of the dangers right there, top one. Stress, burnout, damage to your self-esteem, procrastination, strain on your relationships. I think everybody felt that one, the strain on your relationships. Here's your reality check. This is what perfection, it promises something that doesn't even exist. But what it delivers, pressure, dissatisfaction, but basically pressure. How we break free? By choosing progress over perfection. Okay, movement creates growth. So give yourself permission to grow. Here's your 3 mindset shifts. We're going to go from perfection to progress, from self-criticism to self-compassion, and from control to trust. Heavy on control to trust. Okay. All right. Take action. Right. What is this one small step that we talked about? What is that one small step? Not the perfect step. Not the next step. Right? Not a perfect step, but the next step. And how progress is built daily. That's what we do. Living in God's acceptance. Number 1, God's love defines you. That is the biggest one. Your worth is not performance-based, but God's love defines you, not people's approval, not people's acceptance. And grace changes everything. Move forward after you make a mistake. Let it go. Instead of pondering, man, why I didn't do it this way? Man, why I didn't get that way? How could I miss that? How could I mess it up? You're not perfect. That's what you got to tell yourself. You answer your own question, because I'm not perfect. Your biblical truth, remember that. Ephesians 2, 8 through 9. That is your biblical truth, that you are saved by grace, not works or perfection. Okay, here's your key takeaways. This is what I want you to walk away with. Stop striving for perfection. Start walking in purpose and choose progress every single day. Choose it. Okay. Here's your declaration. I choose progress over perfection. Deja says she's such a ponderer. I choose progress over perfection. I release unrealistic expectations. All right. I walk in grace, not pressure. I walk in grace, not pressure. I walk in grace, not pressure. This is your declaration. Okay. And there we go. So before we leave, so y'all, thank y'all, of course, for joining me. And so you can go deeper in your companion workbook, which everybody that's here will get that in an email. I'll make sure that goes out to you tonight. You will get that workbook. And to go deeper, check into that companion workbook, and you can go through it with this replay, because the replay will be available. You can go over and catch it on YouTube, because we are streaming over there. You can join any of the coaching or mentorship programs that we have to keep on growing and breaking free. Now, Giveaways, the incentives, the incentives. Somebody gonna walk away with all 5 of these. All right, Adasia, you cannot. You cannot. All right, somebody's gonna walk away with all 5 of these books. All right, all 5, all 5. But I will say this, just to be fair. Should I or should I not? All right, just to be fair, the mugs, I may take the mugs off. I may take the mugs off just to be fair. Because all of y'all already have the mugs. Okay. All y'all have the mugs. No, I'll leave it out there. Okay. So for the books, not these, because these are mine, but for the 5 books, who can tell me, let's see, what are we going to do? Oh, yeah. Who can tell me 2 of the signs of perfectionism? Oh, Miss Vicky says she don't have the mugs. Okay, so Miss Vicky, we'll make sure Miss Vicky get the mugs. All right. Miss Vicky says she's never had the mugs. So we'll make sure she get mugs. Okay. So you can't win anything, Miss Vicky. We're going to make sure you get the mugs. All right. But for the 5 books, because even though now everybody should have had mugs now, but for the 5 books, name me 2 signs of perfectionism. Just 2. Okay, Sister Quater said fear of mistakes. She said fear of mistakes and procrastination. Tori said overanalyzing fear of mistakes. Sister Quater put it up there first. So she will get all 5, which I think she already has all 5 books. But she can bless somebody with all 5. So we'll make sure she get that, and Miss Vicky will get the mugs. All right, just to be fair. All right, y'all. So that is it. Let me get me up. Yeah, there I am. So y'all, give me some feedback. How did you like this webinar? Was this worth your time being over here? I always like feedback on the webinar. I want to make sure that we are helping people with this and not just over here, just be over here. You are so welcome, Miss Vicky. So Vicky will walk away with those mugs, and Sister Quater will get the bundle, the Breaking Free bundle. Okay. But how did y'all like this particular webinar? So just give me some feedback. And if you're over there with me on YouTube, thank you. Hey. So give me some feedback on this webinar. Did it help? And make sure after the webinar, y'all throw something out there on social media, because we want people to go and watch the replays and really get into this Breaking Free series. And for those who may be catching this by replay, the whole Breaking Free series is going to be on YouTube. The other 4 are there. After tonight, I'll edit this and we'll get this one on YouTube as well. Sandra says, being completely transparent tonight has truly been an eye-opening, life-changing for me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. A lot of ouch and amens, but it makes you really analyze yourself. Yes, it does. It makes you analyze yourself, and then it also makes you give yourself grace. It makes room for grace when you just say, you know what, I'm not perfect. Karen, you're going to mess up sometimes, so it's okay. You're human. You're not perfect. Vicky said, open her eyes and touch her heart to tears. Oh, well, thank you for the feedback. Yes, it was worth attending. You were talking to me about me. It definitely helped. Amen. Amen. That was it. Y'all, I'm telling you, and I had to check myself, even in putting the book together. I had to check myself, and I was like, ooh, ouch. And then when I had to go do the workbook and start answering the question, I was like, yikes. So it really, the whole purpose of these breaking free is not to make anybody feel bad about themselves, but to make us more aware of ourselves and what we hide on the inside while we try to look like we got it all together on the outside. So here you can be transparent so that you can break free from this stuff, right? You don't have to stay anxiety driven. You don't have to have all this extra pressure and burnout with unrealistic expectations hanging over your head, and you're the one that put them there, right? So you put them there so you can remove them. Okay. So I want to say thank you for attending the webinar. And for those who may be, again, watching this by replay, thank you as well for attending the webinar. And as I stated before, I'm in prayer over possibly one more. There was a topic that was presented to me, and I'm researching it now and see if it's something. But as of now, this is the last one. All right, this is the last one. There possibly could be another one, but as of now, this is the last one. And so I really, really want to say thank you all for attending the webinars and being interactive and making it so much fun and making it worth doing. Okay, because I could write these books and they just get written, put out there on Amazon or whatever, and they're just there. But to actually do the webinar centered around the books has made the books even more essential. And so if you don't have the book, you can get the book over on Amazon. If you want an autographed copy of the book, and you didn't win the autographed copies, but if you want an autographed copy, hit me up and I'll make sure you get an autographed copy. If you want the download, you can go where you register for the if you register for the webinar on my page here on Facebook. But if you look in I think it is in the caption of this video, all right, of the replay and the one that's over on YouTube, the links are in there for you to download, for you to register for the webinar and download the ebook. And over on my PayHip site, when you download the ebook, the webinar link is there with it. But we put this everywhere so everybody have an opportunity to get it. And so after the webinar has been uploaded over on YouTube, then the workbook will be available for purchase by itself with the webinar link. Or if you want the whole bundle where you get the ebook, the workbook, and the webinar link, that will also be available over on my PayHip. Okay. And so we'll make sure that, Adasia, you can drop that in the comment section. We'll make sure that that link is here where you can go over on PayHip, where you'll be able to get the whole bundle. All right. So in 24 hours, I'll make sure all of that is together. So give me until tomorrow. All right. To get all that together, and you'll be able to get the bundle. Right. You'll be able to get the bundle and you'll be able to get the workbook by itself. But for those that are here in person and live with me, you're going to get the workbook free tonight in an email. Okay. Want to make sure you guys get that and say thank you. The ebook is printable, so you can download it and print it out and write in it. Thank you, Adasia. There it is. That is it. Or you can go over there so you'll be able to get this in a bundle, or you'll be able to get it by itself, all that good stuff. All right, y'all. So let's get out of here. I've kept y'all long enough. And once again, thank you guys. Again, the Breaking Free series books are available on Amazon. They're all available on my digital platform over on PayHip. And also the workbook is over there, and all of the webinars, okay, are part of this. The webinars are totally free. You don't even have to purchase the book. You can go over there, and the webinar link is right there in the caption, the product description. So you can even click from there to get to the webinars, or you can go over on YouTube and watch the webinars for free. Just go over there and look for the Breaking Free series, and all the webinars are there. Okay, y'all. I love y'all. Let's get out of here. Y'all have a blessed rest of your night.